My name is Sharif. You might know me as Sharfers in Twitch chat, and I am playing, first of all, Long Live the Game Gear. Second of all, I've run this game in a lot of different marathons, and it has not really ever gone well. So I'm hoping that it goes well today, so I can show this off and do it a little bit of justice. This is Axe Battler, A Legend of Golden Axe. It is in the Golden Axe universe, starring its Barbarian. And we're gonna do our best. There's some lore in this. I'm not a Golden Axe expert. I suspect there are some Golden Axe experts in chat. So if I say something incorrect, feel free to correct me. But I do love this game. I had this game as a kid. I'm a Game Gear kid. So with that, we can go ahead and get started. Time starts when I hit new game here. So we'll just get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Crash Thump, it's the enemy. So this game starts with an opening cutscene. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm mashing. So the way that text boxes work in this game is basically, so the Game Gear has two buttons. It has the one button and the two button. Both buttons do both things. So they both advance text, they speed up text, and they also advance the next text box. Is there a Golden Axe in this game? Yes. Axe Battler does not ever use it, though. So Axe Battler in A Legend of Golden Axe never uses an axe, and it's not gold. It's just that sword. This is sort of what I would call like an RPG adjacent game. It's not an RPG. Oh, actually, that's a very rare spawn. So it's not an RPG, but Axe does get like abilities throughout the game that unlocks different parts of the game. So we are already in the first dungeon of the game. There are two things that we're always going to look for. So dungeons are either going to give us items, or they're going to lead us to a new area. This dungeon is going to give us an item right here. And the item is going to lead us to a new area. The other thing that we're going to get a lot of is we're going to go to a lot of towns. You see that town over there on the right there that we just passed. So the towns have 3 buildings. Inside of the town. There's the password building, which, it gives you the password. There's the inn, which will let you heal. You can see that I start with 3 health, basically. Each health has like 2 ticks in it, so I start with 6 health. So it's blue and then it's red, you know how it goes. So you can heal for a price at the inns. Okay. So you may be wondering about the random encounters. The encounters are random, so it is kind of like an RPG. I also think this game looks a lot like Dragon Quest. I fully admit that. It really wants to be Dragon Quest, and it really wants to be Zelda 2. So we're in our first town. We're going to go into the third building that we care about, which is the training building, the dojo. So this old man kind of yells at us a lot. He's a tough love kind of master, but basically we fight these like tamed versions of enemies, and once we kill the enemy, we earn a new ability. So we just earned high jump. As you might have guessed, it lets you jump high. It is a required ability to finish the game. There are actually ledges that are high enough that you need to go high to, go on the ledge. So the encounters are all random except for on the bridges. A bridge is always a forced encounter. That's the high jump. You jump high. So basically, we're going to alternate finding. So we're basically, that's like the gameplay loop of this game is like, go to an inn, get the ability, use the ability to finish another dungeon. The dungeon will either give us an item or send us to a new place, and then just keep doing that until we beat the game. This is a pretty generous estimate, so I think my estimate is 35 minutes. My PB is mid-23, which that had like exceptional RNG. So to give you an idea of how much, you know, RNG could potentially, like, cause. So we're gonna fight a Neo Amazon. Okay, we can talk about the enemies. So there's basically buckets of enemies per area. So this is the first area of the game. So you can either get a barbarian, an Amazon, or a skeleton. Right now, if I see a skeleton, I just take the hit. You have a lot of health, and taking a hit also allows you to end the fight immediately and just move on with your day. If you defeat the enemy, then if you defeat the enemy, then there's 2 text boxes every time saying, "Hey, I found some magic vases." What's a magic vase? I'll come back to it in a second. So we went to the second area. We went to the second inn. The second inn gave us upper swing. Upper swing is this. Done. So basically, we have this crouch swing that does double damage. So we'll be using that whenever possible now. Magic vases are currency, so you spend magic vases and inns to get heals. That's one thing it's good for. The other thing it's good for is it's also mana. There is magic in this game. I do not use magic particularly often because it is very slow and very painful to look at. Alright. You're supposed to kill all these like, horrible sounding ghosts, which I apologize for, obviously. But you can just kill the last 2, and then the bridge spawns. So we're in our second dungeon. The second dungeon will give us a second item that will let us continue in the game here. Whoop. Oops, alright, well. We'll just wait here instead. I am taking damage on purpose. I don't know if that was clear or not. So, I have 1 health now coming out of this cave. So coming out of this dungeon, I found a crystal, and now I have 1 health, which is on purpose. So instead of walking all the way back, hopefully it'll actually let me show this off. Hey, bad shout. Another rare skeleton. We're just gonna death warp back. So deaths are very not punishing until the very end of the game. So all deaths do is they send you back to the password hut of your most recently visited village. In this case, it's exactly where we want to go. I don't want to use the bomb. I want to use the crystal here. So we're going to throw the crystal in the sea. We're going to summon the giant turtle, obviously. That's just knowledge right there. The other thing that dying does is it resets your magic vases back to 0. We very rarely need vases, so it's actually not like a big deal. This hits on purpose. So now we're just gonna schmoove on out of here. We're gonna take a swing at this guy. Oh, we killed him that time. It's like 50-50. Alright, so we're at our third, we're already at our 3rd village. This village, I'm gonna have to kill a skeleton, and I will have to, and I'll get jump swing, which is a semi-useful. It's a semi-useful ability. It lets you do double damage while jumping. So yeah. So the skeleton, now I can kill the skeleton pretty easily now that I have the hit that does double damage. We're also now in our second area. So we no longer will ever see barbarians or Amazons again, but we will see Neo-Barbarians and Neo-Amazons. We'll still see skeletons, and there's a 4th enemy that I will point out if we see it. This area... So this is jump swing. Yeah, so... I never mentioned it. There's a lot of flashing lights in this game. So, yeah. So if you don't like flashing lights, this might not be the game for you. So every random encounter has that flashing. And anytime I use magic, there will be flashing, which is very rare, and I will warn ahead of time, because it is, like, very intense. Okay, so here's the 4th enemy. It's a bad brother, aka bad bra. It's, like, too tight or something. Or maybe he's like a bruh, you're bad or something. I don't know. It's very good. This area has the highest encounter rate in the whole game, including the end game. I don't know why they did this. It's called it's called like the desert of something. The desert of... If I had my normal commentator here, he'd know, but I'm not. This is not the area of things I know about. the Desert of Infamy or something. Yeah, it's true. Now that we have like these big upscaled like streaming solutions, it's much worse looking than on the screen itself. Those guys, the chicken legs, those guys are fearsome and not to be trifled with. That scorpion is a unique enemy and only shows up in this area. The good news is that you skip the whole area, and that's by design. So we found a key, and we never used the key, basically. If you go through that level normally, without skipping it, what happens is the game goes, oh, you found a gate and it's locked. Too bad, so sad, and then you have to go again. And eventually you just find the key. And it's kind of it's a hard dungeon too. It's not like easy or anything. There are some easy dungeons, but that's not one of them. We've basically, no, there's one more easy dungeon, but most of the dungeons are pretty difficult now. All right, so we're at our next area. It is, I think this is the most important ability in the whole game. We're gonna get Super Swing. So Super Swing is gonna be like Upper Swing, the crouch swing, except I don't have to crouch anymore. I can just press up and attack, and now I have the same double damage, but on this much like longer ranged attack. The problem with this swing is that it has very limited range. So now we have Super Swing, and we're going to be headed into the Spider Cave. The Spider Cave is tough. Let's see how many vases we have here. We have plenty of vases. So we will be using magic, and it's Thunder Magic. The Thunder Magic flashes white, which is tough. The Earth Magic flashes green, which is a lot like easier on the eyes, and then the Fire Magic, it flashes red, which is also not amazing on the eyes. This is one of the 2 hardest dungeons in the game. If I'm going to die, it's probably going to be here. So let's hope I don't. This is one of the areas where I do use magic. I will warn when it happens. It's at the end of the level. Oh, you silly goose. Alright. Alright. Yeah, these guys, these spiders like spit out like these little pieces of venom that do 1 damage every time, and it's just horrendous, honestly. These are the very slow-moving arrows. Not clear how they stay up and move that slow at the same time, but that's okay. Okay. Don't get hit by that. And you. We're getting towards that area where I'm going to start using magic. So if you are like very sensitive or even not sensitive to flashing lights, I would suggest starting to look away right around now. It is not good. I'm looking away to give you an idea. I have 5 charges. I hopefully will not use all 5, but I will use 2. Alright. And we're done. Alright. So now it is safe to look at the screen again, if that was like a problem. So yeah, there you go. One more bad bra here. 1, 2, 3. I probably should just take that hit. I'm gonna take an intentional death. Or I can probably heal, actually. We'll just heal. Healing is faster than taking an intentional death here. I need full health, basically, for the next dungeon. And so I need to decide whether to take a death or to heal. And I think I have enough vases to heal here, because healing costs 8 here. 8 vases. I used up 8 vases. We're going to talk to this guy in a little bit, but first we're going to get Tackle. Tackle after Jump Swing, or Super Swing, is the next most important ability. It's also another required ability to beat the game. There's an area that you need Tackle for to actually continue in the game. This is the Knight. It's actually Master Chief, and he walks up and he just misses, and then you hit him. And that's... So say hi to Master Chief, everybody. Alright. So we're in the third area now. So now we still have Neo-Barbarians, but now we have a bunch of other crap too, including Knights. We're just gonna go ahead and heal here. I should have plenty of vases to do so. I talked to that soldier. The soldiers gave me a compass. I'll explain why that compass is important shortly. But for now, we're going to ignore that bridge on the top. That's going to be to continue the game later. But for now, we're going to go down. Okay. Oh. So we're going to get one more... after this guy, we'll get one more encounter on the bridge. So yeah, so tackle is basically if you double tap in one direction on the D-pad, you start running like you just saw, and then if you press attack, you do like a shoulder check. And the shoulder check is required later in the game to actually, you know, continue, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's amazing 55 inches is like quote-unquote not huge. So there's the shoulder check. That enemy can only be killed with a tackle. This is another like particularly difficult area. So you need to be kind of careful here. Oh, this is going pretty well actually. Kill that guy, one more pikeman. Those pikemen are the only enemies in the whole game that do a whole bar of damage when they hit you. Alright, so if I did not have the compass, when I got to the end of the forest there, it would have sent me back to the beginning saying that you got lost. So that's the really important piece. And the reason I need to come here at all, I don't know if you saw, but there's like one really conspicuous square here. And if I search there, we will find something extremely important. This is actually pretty good. We're gonna death fort back, obviously. So yeah. So we picked up a piece of fruit. So if you talk to that fallen soldier a second time, the one who gave you the compass, he just says the word fruit. And basically you need to come here, find the fruit, and the fruit is going to be very important, and I'll explain why, again, in a little while. There's a lot of this. This game, casually, is basically talking to every single NPC and trying to piece together what all of it means and where to go. There's a lot of trying to figure out where to go in this game. One more bad bra here. Normally there's a lot more. I haven't seen a single knight at all here. But yeah, so that area will lead us to another dungeon. That dungeon will lead us to the last part of the game, basically. Yeah, for bad bras, you don't want to stay too far away from them, because if they get enough distance, they'll do that shoulder check thing. That shoulder check, that's tackle. So you just want to stay close to them so they do the same very predictable attack. Up and around. All right. Okay. Okay. That went pretty well. I think one of my big complaints about there's a lot more random encounters than necessary, obviously, but also the music resets every time, and the music's actually pretty good in this game. So I wish you could hear more of the overworld music, because it's actually pretty good. All right. So this area will lead us to the last area in the game. I should have just gone here. So this is the part that needs tackle. So if you don't have tackle, you cannot do that part of the level. Also, if you fall here, it's a death and you just warp back to the previous inn. That is not the last time we will see an instance of a pit being death. 1, 2. This looks scary, but actually these boulders fall in a fully predictable pattern, so all you gotta do is know when they're falling, and you can avoid them. Like that. Alright, so if I don't have fruit, that eagle doesn't spawn. And so now that eagle took us to a larger eagle. A different, larger eagle. I do this part pacifist because it's just a lot faster, just to not deal with these skeletons. But yeah, so if you don't have the fruit, it just goes, you just walk out to the end of the previous area and goes, hey, I guess there's nothing to do yet. So yeah, fruit's very important. Ooh, chicken leg. These guys I kill because they will eat your lunch. Alright, so we're in the last area of the game. So now the enemies we're still going to see Neo-Barbarians, but now we're going to see Neo-Skeletons, Neo-Knights, and then Death Adders. These guys. So welcome to Death Adder. We're just going to kill Death Adder over and over again. It's not actually Death Adder. It's Death Adder Jr. But that was the Golden Axe. Or some copy of it, I guess. Some reasonable facsimile of it. But yeah, so in the Japanese version of the game, there is like a little junior character at the end. So you're not just bodying Death Adder over and over. This is the last ability you get in the game. It's actually skipped in any percent because it's super unnecessary and it's out of the way. All right, oh, there it is. Oh, fun fact: Death Adders one-shot you. So that Death Adder that I saw on the bridge, that Death Adder we saw on the bridge, if it had hit me, it would have killed me, and I would have had to do that whole previous section over again. So that would have been fun for me personally. We're also going to get the last item of the game, which is we probably could figure out where that is as well. Neo Knights. Neo Knights. I don't like you. All right. Well, we screwed up the timing on this. The Neo Knight is the only enemy that I haven't figured out how to hit with your that I haven't found a strat to kill with your sword. It's just too fast. Alright, so now we picked up the Magic Stone. The Magic Stone makes it so that Death Adders no longer one-shot us. So now we are armed to the teeth with knowledge and with abilities. And we're going to the last bit of the game now. We're not going to see any more villages. We're not going to see any more villages. We're not going to see any more abilities, no more items. We're just going to the end of the game. So yeah, Neo-Barbarians are very underleveled now. I killed my first Neo-Barbarian in the very first town of the first part of the level. Hey Raiders, what's up? Welcome to SEGATHON. I'm playing a Game Gear game. More Death Adders. I'm gonna start taking hits here to save time, but not just yet. So this next area, there's two more dungeons. There's the Ice Cliffs, and then there's Death Adder's Castle. The Ice Cliffs have an area where I use magic, and it's the last place where I'll use magic in the game. For anybody who wasn't here before, magic uses cause a lot of flashing lights, kind of like that, but worse. Here are the Neo skeletons. They're hot pink. So shout out to anybody with a hot pink skeleton in them. It is, you know, that's how it goes. And 2, and 3. So that's actually kind of a tight timing. You kind of have to learn that timing. The other way to kill the Neo skeleton is to just move back, and then when he finishes his down stab, you just hit him afterward. But I kind of have this timing down pretty well now. It's like a few frames. So you might be wondering what ability I got in that last area. This is kind of annoying. Sometimes you get the same enemy like this over and over again. That's a little bit irritating. This game is fun. I love this game. It's not a super great casual playthrough, but it is a super fun speedrun. But yeah, so if you wanted to know what that last ability is, we're doing 100% because it's much safer. Only adds like 2 minutes to the run. This is actually pretty bad luck in terms of encounter rates here, but that's okay. We're chilling. We're doing good. We're just gonna... Oh, boy. But yeah, so it was a down stab, basically. There was like a whole... He was like yabbering on. It was like a whole bunch of... It's like a giant essay that the old man gave you to explain what this does. But basically, if you do a high jump and then press down, you basically do the down stab from Golden Axe. I like calling it Link's down stab because it looks like the down stab from Zelda 2. One of the many reasons that this game is like Zelda 2. This is the best music in the game, so enjoy it. So welcome to the Ice Cliffs. This is the area here behind the waterfall where I'm going to use magic again, so watch out. Alright, magic coming up in 3, 2, 1, go. But it's green this time, so it's not quite as bad as the white flashing lights from the previous dungeon. This is another area where if you fall, you die. So this is the last charge of magic that you use in the whole game. So now we should be magic free if everything goes well. All right. 3, go. And now we're just gonna run, and jump. All right, cool. So these avalanches basically cause. Those green avalanche, those avalanches basically. I can take this hit now. Basically cause the hitboxes on the. We'll take this hit as well. The hitboxes on the platforms to go away, which is why I'm actually gonna not take this hit now because I don't have enough health anymore. 2, 3. I try to take hits from enemies that take 4 more hits to kill, basically, for time. So that's why at the beginning I jumped back to and waited for the avalanche to pass before I actually, killed it. Went back on there. So at the end, that area, running is required, and if you don't time that jump well, you actually fall underneath, and there's a hole. It's not death, but it is demoralizing. Basically, you fall into an area underneath. There's a whole bunch of enemies you have to kill, and then you get back on the platform, on one of the platforms behind the waterfall. This giant scary castle is in fact Death Adder's castle. So this is the last dungeon of the game. Oh, I took a hit there. That's okay. Alright, so we're actually in the last castle of the game. So time's coming up pretty soon. I wanted to shout out the other main runner of this game. His name is... I'm actually just gonna... Wait. For some reason the running didn't happen. 1, 2, 3. J question mark. J question mark taught me a lot about the speedrun. He routed the original route of the speedrun. And we've improved on it, but he was definitely the one who pioneered the speedrun, so shout out to J question mark. This area, as you might have figured out, looks awful. It's a door maze with invisible mirrors, and also, I don't know what to do here, so we're just going to take that hit and not die. Oh boy, okay. This area this level used to be like actually horrendous, but there is so we skipped 80% of the level just now. I don't know if that was clear, but that was not intended. Well, when we went through the bottom of the wall there, and so basically this is the very end of the dungeon. So all you got to do now is call time. Game's over. And the game ends as it began, with white text on a black screen. So this is like the final boss that you'd expect in this game. But it's just a cutscene. So yeah, Deathless Run in a marathon. It finally happened. Woohoo! So yeah, for a little like peek behind the curtain, I've run this game at GDQ, and I died in the spider cave. I ran this game just last month at RPG Limit Break, and it was a complete catastrophe. I died a bunch of times. So I'm glad I got to show off a nice clean run of this game. I don't plan on running this game a ton more. I don't really have a lot to sort of contribute to it. I might do some 80% runs because I want to better my time there, but I'm pretty happy with where this speedrun is at. So if this looked interesting to you, there is a lot of RNG in terms of like the random encounters and stuff. But a run usually gets like made or broken based on execution rather than on RNG for the most part. So I do like this game. Also, if anybody is really keen on like TASing and stuff, and like breaking down the code in this game to see if we can maybe fix the seed for like optimal random encounters, also hit me up or hit J question mark up. But yeah, this is that was the ending cutscene. We've recovered the Golden Axe. So this is a prequel to Golden Axe 1, basically. And peace is once again restored in the world. So yeah. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. There is a unique sprite here when Axe rides on an eagle, which is really cool. But yeah, Axe Battler took the Golden Axe in hand and returned, blah blah blah. But yeah, other than that, I will be back again tomorrow with one of the very last runs. Fly, giant eagle! Fly into the vast sky! Let the world... I used to know this by heart. But thanks for the GGs, everybody. Thanks for watching. And I will see y'all tomorrow.